This sales funnel is by far the most effective and profitable marketing tool that I've ever used. It is the best framework that I personally implemented into my business, built on a unique mechanism that has our prospects opening up and giving us their data and any information that we need to be able to sell to them. It's personally responsible for generating hundreds of thousands of dollars of new business for our business and also for some of our clients, like Josh, was able to bring in £51,000 of new revenue within 6 weeks. We have become so effective at using this scorecard funnel that we are actually now the #1 ranked partner at Daniel Priestley's Score app, and it is also used by some of the largest growing companies in the world. If you just give me some time, I can explain how you can implement it for your business and you can get a new lead within the week. Before we actually go into how to build a successful scorecard, I think it's important that we look at the actual psychology of why this works and also where this has come from. Quiz style funnels have been around for as long as the internet, but where this tool is unique is the fact that they've built it in a very specific way that allows the prospects to self-diagnose throughout the questioning period, giving them an answer that is unique to them. The founder of the company is a guy called Daniel Priestley, who, unless you've been living under a rock, you'd have seen on something like Modern Wisdom or even Diary of a CEO. The reason why Score app works so well compared to normal marketing methods is due to the fact that humans as a whole are very defensive when it comes to personal information. For example, if I took you out for a coffee and asked you how much money you earn, you'd be a little bit defensive and maybe take some time before telling me, or perhaps you'd even lie. Whereas if I stuck a quiz or a funnel or a questionnaire out in front of you online and you felt like you were talking to a robot, you'd be filling it in, you'd be sliding across your income a lot easier than what you do to a face-to-face to another human. And where Score app kind of sits in a slightly different category to some of the competitors they have is just the complexity of the results pages. Prospects aren't just getting a score. As I said, they're self-diagnosing throughout the scorecard. So they're actually uncovering things that they didn't even know they needed. And by the end of it, they're being a lot more informed position to either use your product or use your service or just straight up buy from you. I like to split the scorecard funnel up into 3 parts. We have the scorecard itself, which is where we'll be qualifying prospects and getting them to go through a journey where they're self-diagnosing their pain points. We have before the scorecard, which is essentially how do we get them to the scorecard? And then we have after the scorecard, how can we nurture them into potentially buying from you, booking a call, signing up to a newsletter, anything where we own the data. The reason why I believe in Score app so much and I believe in the funnel is because we're able to get client data and not just names and email addresses. We're able to find out if they're homeowners, we can find out if they run businesses, we can find out how much money they're earning. The goal of the scorecard itself is to take the prospect across this journey of not knowing about your product or about your service. So if we use an example of, let's say, an ice bath, you're not selling your ice bath, you're actually selling the benefits of the ice bath as you go through. And by the end of it, the prospect now has a feeling. So if we know that the prospect wants the ice bath, then at the end of it, we can then hit them with targeted emails or targeted ads so that they're actually seeing your product again. If we take the example of, is your business ready to scale, or would you like to run meta ads for your business? Let's just do a niche that a lot of people can understand. Then the goal of the scorecard is to find out whether that would work for them. So what I like to do is I have an overall question, which will be something to do with your product. Are meta ads good for you? And that's a scorecard that we actually ran ourselves before. And then throughout the scorecard is questions that we kind of need to know in order to know whether they'd be a good fit for us. So it could be questions like, do you have budget? Do you have room for more leads to come in? Have you ever run meta ads before? Are you a specialist in this topic? Do you know where your clients are? Do you know what your prospect looks like? Is it a male? Is it a female? Are they over 50? Are they under 50? All of these questions that we then ask builds out a perfect client profile at the end of it. So they feel like they're getting a very well-designed report and personalized report about whether it actually will work for them. And in the other side of it, we're getting all of this data. So we know that we have a female who's between 45 and 50, who's a business owner, and she's got £1,000 a month that she can invest into this funnel. So we know that when we're then going through our nurture program that we'll get to later, we have enough information that is warrant for us to then go after them. There's no point us wasting time and effort on prospects that aren't actually ready to buy or will never be ready to buy. The genius in this funnel is that the results page is done on weighted questions. So we can give prospects either a single score, a yes or no, are you fit for meta ads, are you not fit for meta ads? We can give them a percentage score, you're 75% of the way there. If you picture, for example, a B2C about how healthy their lifestyle is, it could be like you're 75% of the way there. Or we can even do more complex where we rate them over 6, 7, 8 different subjects. We've built some of the most complex scorecards in the world, and we've found that the more complex we make it, the better the results, because again, the prospects feel like they're getting something. So now the question is, you've got the best scorecard, how do you get traffic there? Now, there are two main ways that you can get traffic to a scorecard. You can do it through paid advertisement and you can do it through non-paid advertisement. If we start with paid advertisement, we're looking at things like Meta ad, Google search, LinkedIn ads, YouTube ads. You don't have to pick one or the other. Whenever we're doing anything like this, we like to make sure that we're using all of the tools available to have the best possible results. But if we just start with paid and what that actually looks like, ScoreApp has some of the best integrations I've ever seen when it comes to actually allowing the conversion managers to actually pick up how many people are filling in your scorecard and then show that to more right people. I like to then have a maths equation which says that if I put in $100 or £100, whatever country you're in, if I get 5 scorecard leads, 2 of them book a call, I close at 50%, then I know that the maths is very, very simple to work out of how much each lead costs me, which is very hard to do with other organic content and things like that. Now, you don't actually need a big budget to run paid traffic to your scorecard, because another way that we use paid traffic is by just supplementing organic flow. So what that means is you might have a following on LinkedIn or social media, or you might even be cold calling. The other way to supplement paid ads is by just doing retargeting. So if you're already getting lots of organic traffic coming into your website, we can stick a meta pixel on it, for example, and then we just run very cheap retargeting ads so that when people are sitting there at home or they're scrolling social media, they're getting hit by your pain points on the ads. By allowing the pain point on the ad, that's the most salesy thing we do. If they recognize that that is something that is them, then they're gonna click on it and then they're gonna go through the funnel. The other way of obviously getting traffic to your scorecard is through organic, whether that be content that you make, or it could be anything on your website, or it could be a LinkedIn post, anything that's essentially free. The aim here is to target the people who you can actually help. If you are getting a high completion rate, it means that you are targeting people who have your pain points. So that brings us on to the final stage of the scorecard, which is actually the nurture campaigns. So here is what we then do after that point. So the first thing we like to do is whatever CRM you're using is we'll connect. If you're using HubSpot or ActiveCampaign or Go Higher Level, whatever you're using, we connect it to the scorecard. Once it's connected, we do something called a tag where we start to build out that profile into where they sit. So for example, we recently ran a campaign for a weight loss transformation company. And when we were splitting the tags, it was very important that we split them into male and female, because how we then followed up with them would resonate with each gender differently. We wouldn't want to show some things to the females that we show to the men, and vice versa. Their goals are different and their pain points are different. And the best part about ScoreApp is that now after they've self-diagnosed and they've opened up to you and you have all of their information that you need, where they're vulnerable, where their pain points are, you can then run personalized but automated nurture emails. What we'll then set up finally is hyper targeted ads. Now, again, because we can split them into different sections, I can run an ad to the men and an ad to the female with offers that affect them. Over the next 6 to maybe even 12 months, if they're not buying from all the offers and I have a new product coming out, a new service coming out, I can send them another scorecard that is a little bit more salesy, but again, to remind them and to get them the feeling that they need what I sell. Now, if you want to learn more about the scorecard funnel, then click here on the screen to watch me make one of these live. This way you can test it against your current marketing and see how it performs. See you over there.